Welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and today in this video, what I'm going to offer you is a full timeline of the 11-day manhunt in the search for Vicky White, a correctional officer who helped Casey White, an inmate who was facing capital punishment and now still is. She helped him escape on Friday, April 29th. Now, since then, a lot has happened. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. She has succumbed to her injuries, which was a gunshot wound, and autopsy is being conducted. We're going to look at everything that we can as efficiently as possible so that then when we have more live streams about this case, you'll be in the know of exactly what happened in the least amount of time. Behind me here, I have an example of a bedroom that is featured at Motel 6, which is the last place that they were staying in. Oddly enough, staying there for a week. Very strange for two people on the run. Anyway, so I thought that would be a fitting background for today's episode. Let's get started. Of course, because this is a true crime channel, all this content comes with viewer discretion is advised. This content is for adults only and all that. So let's dive right in. The 11-day manhunt for Vicky White and Casey White from Friday, April 29th until Monday, May 9th. So they would have spent 10 nights together, and one struggles to believe that Vicky threw away everything. Her home, her career, her life, her friendships, relationships, everything for this freaking inmate. Okay, so let's have a look at where this all started. So we're looking at the timeline. Of course, we've looked before at the timeline before this period, but we're starting here where Vicky sold her home in Lexington on April 18th, 2022 for $95,000, $550. Okay, market value was $204,700. So you can see that it was auctioned off and she accepted actually a very low bid. So it means she wanted to sell it quite fast. She'd been living with her mother for approximately 5 weeks before she disappeared with Casey White. Vicky bought a copper-colored 2007 Ford Edge SUV with rear bumper damage days before the disappearance. She bought the car in Rogersville, 25 miles east of Lauderdale County, and staged it in the parking lot the night before the disappearance. Vicky checked herself into the Quality Inn in Florence, Alabama on Thursday, April 28th. She went shopping at an adult store and a Kohl's in the men's department, withdrew $90,000 in cash from several bank accounts, and handed in her retirement papers. Her last day would be Friday, April 29th. On the morning of the 29th, Vicky was seen on surveillance footage at the hotel, checking out at 5:29 a.m. So here is a picture of a house. We've looked at all the pictures. We've looked at inside the house and everything, but there's an example. If you missed any of that, we've got the sales validation form. You could see it was sold on the 18th day of April 2022 for $95,550. Estimated net proceeds, though, was around $5,620 because the estimated remaining mortgage seems to be $76,227, which means that she might have not actually had $95,000 of cash from the house sale. She might have been saving up for a long time because people said she was very frugal and saved up a lot. She might have had that and then some money from the home sale. But it's very concerning to think that right after her husband, her ex-husband, she divorced him 16 years ago, but was still living with him and taking care of him. He died from Parkinson's disease in January. And to think that in February already she was auctioning off her house and planning this whole thing is quite concerning, of course, with respect or with regards to her mental health. So here's the picture of the Quality Inn that she checked herself into on Thursday, April 28th. the car that she bought, and the adult store that she visited, which Brian Enton from News Nation went and visited, also so that he could question the staff who were not allowed to say what she bought there.
And others report seeing Vicky at this adult store before she took off. A woman working inside told me her lawyer advised her not to talk about whether or not Vicky was a customer.
Now, on Friday, April 29th at 8:47 a.m., Transport Van 5 leaves the detention center with 7 inmates escorted by 2 deputies. And at 8:56, Transport Van 2 leaves the detention center with 5 inmates escorted by 2 deputies. Then at 9:20 a.m., Assistant Director Vicky White instructs a corrections deputy to prepare inmate Casey White for transport to the courthouse. The deputy removes Casey from his cell and takes him to a book where he handcuffs and shackles his legs. We've also looked at an inside view of the prison and a tour as the sheriff showed us around to see exactly where Casey White would be booked. So I'm going to link the playlist below if you want to check any of that out. At 9:41 a.m., Vicky leaves the detention center with Casey to go to the courthouse for a mental health evaluation. In hindsight, I wish she had gone for a mental health evaluation. Before leaving, she tells the booking officer that she's the only deputy available who is firearms certified, and she's dropping him off to other deputies at the courthouse and then going to Med Plus for a doctor's appointment. At 9:49 a.m., Vicky's car is seen on surveillance driving through the intersection of Huntsville Road and Cox Creek Parkway, half a mile from the Florence Square Shopping Center, which is about 3 miles from the jail. At 11:34 a.m., a Florence police officer spots the patrol vehicle parked in a lot where other vehicles were for sale. At 3:30 p.m., the booking officer reports to the administration that they've been trying to contact Vicky White to check on her, but her phone keeps going directly to voicemail. She also advises that inmate Casey White has not returned to the detention center with the other inmates. It is then determined that there was no courthouse appearance scheduled. Security footage showed that Vicky's vehicle did not ever arrive at the courthouse. Deputies retrieved the vehicle and searched it for any evidence. U.S. Marshals and the FBI are now assisting on the case. Well, they were. What they found in that vehicle, it wasn't in the Ford SUV, it was actually in this vehicle that they found her jail radio, handcuffs, and keys. So that would have probably been already, of course, the moment where she unshackled inmate Casey White. Video surveillance camera footage from the detention center, courthouse, shopping center, and other locations based on tips are and were being searched for leads. Of course, now we know that they were caught. Still on April 29th, which we all found out about on May 5th, but on April 29th, an abandoned Ford Edge SUV was discovered in College Grove, Tennessee. There seemed to have been an attempt to spray paint it with green paint. It was a very botched attempt. A woman who lived in the area said that she heard a truck idling for the longest time and was wondering what was going on. Right near where this car was abandoned, and now we can speculate it was probably the Ford F-150 that Casey and Vicky would abandon next. So yes, these are some photos of it. You could see they spray painted it on the left and actually on the right hand side of the vehicle. We've looked at those pictures before and done all this map time as well. Now on Sunday, May 1st, U.S. Marshals offer a $10,000 reward for locating Vicky and a $15,000 reward for locating Casey. That makes it $25,000. So they added $5,000 to the initial wanted reward amounts. On Tuesday, May the 3rd, the U.S. Marshals issue a warrant for Vicky's arrest, charging her with permitting or facilitating an escape in the first degree in connection with capital murder. She was later also charged with forgery in the second degree and identity theft. This was around May 9th because she'd used an alias to buy the Ford Edge SUV. Those aliases, the names were April Davis and Renee Maxwell. Casey and Vicky were spotted on surveillance footage by a car wash manager pictured above, James Stinson, Weinbach Car Wash in Evansville, Indiana, on Tuesday, May the 3rd. So it means that they were there for about a week from this date until they were caught. James first noticed a truck, a 2006 Ford F-150, abandoned at the car wash around 4 p.m. in the afternoon on Tuesday. On Wednesday, May the 4th at 6 a.m., James got up to take his granddaughter to school and noticed that the truck was still there. After dropping her off at school, he returned to the truck and his first thought was, It could be this guy from Alabama. He noticed the windows were down, the doors were unlocked, and the keys were in the ignition. He started the truck and noticed, well, there's nothing wrong with the vehicle. He then called the local police department. This would be a picture of the surveillance footage where Casey, we were all speculating, is it him? Could it be him? And it seemed like the tattoo was a match and everything. And yes, it really was him on surveillance footage at a car wash. It's very difficult to understand why these two who were on the run and their case was going viral on social media would be at a car wash to hide a car and take another.
James, you really are the reason all this came to an end, and this has just been a wild week and a half.
Police checked out the vehicle and then they just left it because they said they ran the plates and it wasn't stolen. There was a gun case in the car with no gun in it. James then called a towing company to have the vehicle towed. Then, on Friday, May 6th, U.S. Marshals swarmed the area where the Ford Edge was found, learning that it was towed on April 29th and was connected to Vicky and Casey. The vehicle allegedly had mechanical problems and was abandoned, and then the attempted spray painting. The manhunt for the pair continued, billboards were put up in Louisiana, and the case became viral on social media. And as we see it, the reward was increased to $10,000 for Vicky and $15,000 for Casey, $25,000 reward for locating them. Here you can see examples of the billboards. On Sunday, May the 8th, the U.S. Marshals contacted James and asked if he had a vehicle towed from the car wash. The U.S. Marshals told James that the vehicle was actually reported stolen and that the local police that he had contacted had not known it at the time when they ran the plates. The surveillance footage shows Vicky picking Casey up from the car wash. We publicly haven't seen that footage, but Brian Enton has seen the footage. Of course, it's the footage from the car wash, so James has seen it, and of course, law enforcement has seen it as well. Now, she likely picked him up in the Cadillac, which was the car that was crashed in the pursuit for the pair. A police officer spotted that pickup vehicle at a motel and called it in to the U.S. Marshals. This motel was very close, apparently across the road from the sheriff's office. They were staying at Old Motel 6 on 41 in Evansville, Indiana. Vicky was seen leaving the motel with a wig on, which is what I'm speculating she bought at the adult store. Monday, May 9th. When Vicky and Casey realized that the U.S. Marshals were closing in on them, they fled in that car and a car chase ensued. Now, we were live streaming when this all happened, so if you were there with me, what a moment that was. Oh my word, we literally lived it together. I'm like, wait, what? That was unforgettable. Vicky and Casey fled on Highway 41 northbound, went past Highway 57, and then turned on Birch Park Drive. U.S. Marshals collided with them, and the car came to a stop after being wrecked because it rolled. Vicky allegedly called 911 from inside the car and told them that she had her finger on the trigger of a gun. Vicky, who is reported to be the driver of the vehicle, there's some conflicting reports, but it seems like she was the driver of the vehicle, then shot herself. Casey White reportedly told officers to help his wife, who had shot herself in the head, and told them he didn't do it. Keeley said, to their knowledge, Casey White and Vicky White are not married. Vicky was taken to the hospital, where she died at 7:06 p.m. Central Time of her injuries. She was pronounced dead by the Vanderburgh County coroner. Casey is in custody and scheduled for a trial for the 2015 murder charges, facing capital punishment. At this point, we don't know if there's any other charges that he's facing based on this whole escaping the correctional center and everything else that he did. I don't know if they are gonna, if that was all charges that Vicky was facing for helping the inmate escape. I wonder. I'll let you know. He will likely be extradited back to Alabama and rehoused at the Lauderdale County Correctional Center, where he escaped with Vicky's help. Yes, so the sheriff has said that he will be kept in his own cell, even though the place is quite overcrowded. They're going to make sure he's shackled even in his cell, and that he will never get out again. These are pictures of the Cadillac which crashed, and the picture on the top in the middle, you could see some blood on the window. So I'm speculating that even though they put Vicky White in an ambulance on a stretcher, that she may have already been deceased at this point. But she was taken away from the scene and pronounced dead officially at 7:06 p.m. Central Time. Now this is Casey White's new mugshot from Tuesday, May 10th. He is allegedly cooperating with authorities, which is very unlike him. You know, he doesn't normally do this based on everything we know about him. Vicky's autopsy is scheduled for May 10th, so that is to figure out, or to make sure that she shot herself, that Casey White didn't actually shoot her. I don't think at this point we'll be surprised either way. I think the most likely outcome is that she shot herself, because facing her mother, her colleagues, the world after this, that would be a lot to handle. Now, offing oneself is never the answer, but I can just imagine how much guilt and shame a person might feel if they were caught in this situation. And only 11 days later, it's not like they were on the run for months or years even. 11 days. Man, to think that she retired early because she was 56. Casey is 38. She was 56 and she handed in those retirement papers. She got fired once everyone realized, whoa, she actually facilitated this. She planned all of this. You know, she bought the car. She bought an AR-15 gun, a shotgun, went to the adult store, bought him men's clothing. She planned everything. So then she was fired from her job. She wouldn't get her pension. She sold her home. I mean, that would have been a lot to deal with. But yes, I would hope that that we don't see more cases of people just offing themselves, rather facing the consequences, right? She would have had like 10 years in prison. That's not even so bad if you think about it. Anyway. So yes, this is the full timeline. My goal was to do this in under 20 minutes or so. I hope that you've enjoyed that. And please make sure that you are subscribed, that you hit the bell, so that you don't miss out on the next live stream where we will be discussing this more. As more news unfolds, I will continue to discuss it with you. It's always nice to generate interesting conversations in live stream chats and in the comments afterwards. So I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much to all approximately 1,800 of you who were there with me, living the moment that the car chase happened. Oh my word, I don't think we're ever going to forget that. Let me just show you a clip for those of you who were there. This will be nostalgic for you then. And for those who didn't, just look at this clip of how they were actually chasing Casey and Vicky speeding off. Oh my word.
They just got that dude at my job, man. He just rode off through the parking lot. They're shooting him right now. At my job, dude, he was just flying through the fucking building and everything.
Running through the building?
Right, dude, I swear to God, I'm looking at it right now. They just got him. They flipped the fucking car, bro.
Record it.
Miguel is. Holy shit, they got him. Stop right here, bro. Stop right here, right there. Get in the grass. Get in the grass. They just drug him out. They just drug him out. They just drug him out. They got his
right
ass.
here. Stop right there. Stop. Stop.
She's in the car too.
In the cop car?
Yes, they was in a Cadillac.
And so we relive all the emotions that I'm sure we all felt while we were live streaming, like, oh my word, what. Thank you to everyone who sent me emails, who sent me links, who sent me PayPal, bought me coffees, and did all that good stuff. The super thanks for everything. Your support is very much appreciated. I look forward to seeing you later. Stay safe, be mindful of those red flags, and if you work in a prison, please don't let an inmate out. Okay, thank you. Bye.